Stewart, talk about being in training camp, and is there any difference in preseason for yourself and the keepers going through it as you would in the regular season?
Yeah, obviously it's the same as the outfield players in preseason. With the goalkeepers, it's a different type of fitness. More up and down stuff, less running. So for me and for the goalkeepers, this is where we build our base. During the season, it's more about keeping things topped up. But here we do the majority of fitness work, and we really build our base for the coming season.
Yeah, I know the guys they get along well, the three keepers, obviously friendly competition, but talk a little bit about that and how they get along, knowing, if whether or not Joe's starting or if it's Chris or whoever. How does that play out between the three of them?
Yeah, I think it's very friendly competition. Any group of goalkeepers I've been involved with as a player or as a coach, never had one bad guy in it. As I say, everybody knows there's only one position, but I think that helps drive the competition. It helps each other. It's friendly competition, and they're a great set of guys, and they've really worked hard.
And obviously Joe had a fantastic season. Despite the team's record, he obviously proved himself as a starting keeper in this league. How do you think then someone like a Chris Konopka approaches this? And I don't even know if I'm assuming that Joe is the number one.
Well, I think it's a case of, you look at last season where everybody assumed that Stefan Fry was going to be the number one. Things always happen in goalkeeping. I think Joe proved himself last season, a fantastic season, but he knows as well that it's only one season. He'll be the first guy to tell you that he has to kick on and he really has to push on again this year, because there'll be a expectation level for him this season. And I think with Chris coming in, he's a good character. He's the type of guy who will push Joe all the way. Also with Quillan, it's time for him now to step up as well. He's had 2 years under the tutelage of me, so this season we're expecting big things off him.
Is it a challenge sometimes, you think, from your position to keep Quillan positive? Obviously he had an opportunity to go down and play NCAA, and he changed his mind and signed a contract to be pro, so that's not available for him now. That he's not, obviously he's not getting probably as many games and minutes in first team appearances as he would like. So how do you keep him positive and keep him on his game?
I think with Quillan, it's, people forget that he's just turned 19 years of age, and he's so young. You look at the guys in college, these guys are 22, 23 years of age. The good thing about Quillan is he's had 2 years now has been involved with the first team, and I think that's really stood him in good stead. To me, all he needs is a few games. And what he's doing in training, he's handling it every single day. And as far as keeping him being good and stuff like that, not a problem. He's a great lad, he works really hard, and also he knows the situation he's in and he knows how highly we think of him.
Have you seen a progression with Joe Bendik since the fact that, when you talked about Stefan Fry last year, obviously had that starting position, but then Joe has gone into it. Have you seen a progression with him, and maybe not an improvement, but a growth as a keeper?
Yeah, 100%, and I think that's the biggest thing about goalkeepers. It's always a progression. Joe's just turned 24 years of age, so he's still relatively young as a goalkeeper, and I think every day we're all learning. And I think for Joe, for Chris, for Quillan, for all the goalkeepers, every day brings something new. Also in pre-season, something will crop up in pre-season and they have to deal with it. So we're really looking forward to getting our teeth into it.
What is it about now, we've got Chris Konopka in for the first full season at Toronto FC. What is it about him, or what was it about him that you said to the staff here, this is a guy that we want to go and get?
Well, for me, Chris, I've knew about Chris for a few years now. He's played overseas, he's a big character. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. He can fit in with the group, and also as well, I don't think he's unleashed his true potential yet. I think you see he's a big guy, big presence in the goal, and I think this season, working with Joe and Quillan and myself, I think will really show what he's got.